You move to Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Okay. All right, but please send ideas of any subject you want to listen or something like that.
Switzerland.
Mohan, do you still play tennis or play cricket?
No.
But please send ideas of
Leg on one side and arm on the other side not working, so can't do that.
Okay. All right.
The artifacts
Benita,
of the tennis.
can you give us a talk on pottery making or something like that? Benita?
Hello.
Judy Betty. Hi. Hi, Judy Betty. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
I look very nice.
Yeah. You're a little girl now. Yeah. That's right. Are you sitting on a chair? Are you sitting? Oh, yay. Yay.
Someone has a nice granddaughter. Yeah. This. So Maruf, start the program. What is it? Banda is going to talk straight away. Banda.
I'm going to talk first. You guys don't want to listen to me.
How many minutes do you want to talk, Maru? Go ahead, start.
Asking.
Right here.
Do you want to chat? I don't know. Is there anything else you want to chat? I mean, US politics is boring. Anything else?
Anything else chatting? You can chat. Once I go into technology, I also have Banda's thing called conquering COVID. Lots of interesting things I found. I put it for Banda if he's not ready. He will have to comment on each of those slides I make. Salima, come on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, can we go to the meet and greet portion and go to the next portion?
Agenda.
Everyone is quiet.
Do you want me to display the?
Yes, start.
Agenda or right? Okay, let me start. That's Banda's lecture.
Maruf, that is very unfair, Maruf. I'm not well.
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
You should have asked me before putting my name down there. I'm just here for
ready for you. Don't worry. Yeah. I'll carry on. Right. Let's talk of March of Technology. Are you guys listening or you are? Oh, you can't. Right. I got to share this, minimize. Okay. Okay, you can see me now, my desktop.
Yeah.
Okay, here you are. Here you are, little fire into the system. Right, wake you up. What's driving exponential technological growth? We are no more taking linear paces. We are taking exponential steps. Each exponential steps, if you take the 30 exponential step by meters, you would have traveled 30 meters. But if you did by exponential steps, that's what's happening in the world regarding technology. And we would have traveled 1,073,741,824 meters. That means 26 times around the earth. That's technology. Technology is converting scarcity into abundance. What do you think of being anything in scarce? Everything, energy, water, health, learning, time, money, resources, expertise, everything is just going up sky high, blowing out into that And that's what we are witnessing today. The meta trend is energy abundance, which is we have 6,000 times more solar hits the year, each year into the earth than we actually use it. We hardly use it. All right. So that's the abundance we have. And of course, automotive industry is no exception. And so much so that Apple has coming with Hyundai is going to come up with one of the best solar cars. I mean, not solar cars, electric cars. And eventually we'll end up in solar cars as well. And we are connected at the gigabit speed, everyone, everywhere, at ultra low cost at any time. We are going into the 5G world with its own hazards itself, but it's being deployed all over the world right now. And Elon Musk is launching the SpaceX launching, so we may be able to travel in our lifetime. But if you look at that, 2025, internet connections, people who are going to use internet connections are almost 100% of them will use internet users. Okay. And what will 4 billion new minds create, discover, consume, desire, invent? Everything is connected, sensors everywhere. It's not people being connected, connecting everything. Zoom is a good example. The future of perfect knowledge, where you can know anything you want, go to Google and tap it and you get it. Artificial intelligence, we were talked to about last month's meeting. That's going to capture our lives so much so we feel we may be out of control. We still can have control because artificial intelligence still needs a driving force. Look at the health and biotech, the gene, the virus vector and healthy gene, everything is working, and then we have produced a virus vaccine in a record 1 year. So much so, there is an increasing human longevity and health span. We have discovered so much of new things into that. I plan to talk later on sometime after all the sleep stories. And making 100 years old of today, new 60. If you had gone through your WhatsApp, you would have seen that I sent some event that took place in Gold Coast today, where a 100-year-old lady was coming last, but she won the race because everybody else was younger than her. They were in the 90s. Okay, there are lots of companies or industries getting into this so-called age-old aging and anti-aging industry. And several stories are available. They say books are available cheaper in India, but books are available even cheaper in Egypt. Why? They photocopy them. Artificial intelligence could have more profound complications for humanity than electricity or fire. And the performance and speeding up intensive tasks, okay, crunching data to develop vaccine to fight COVID-19 is a good evidence. Our worry about humans versus AI is reading into contract. For example, we, of course, we don't want to put a medical person in this example. So we put a lawyer. He took 92 minutes with 85% accuracy, while the artificial intelligence did it in 26 seconds, 94% accuracy. So human AI collaboration is very soon coming there. We already have a tracker in Mars. It's running around with the human AI collaboration. In what industries? There you are. So don't let crisis go to waste. It be an aspirin and not vitamins. Yeah. Brain-computer interface, increasing human intelligence. Can we? rice-sized brain implants have been detected, and these are called neurograins. And this gave eyesight to this lady.
Brain
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There was another noise, I thought. Okay. Building broadband brain. They have tried it in pigs now, and I think soon we'll have a 2 GB connection in our brain to our finger. So there is an abundance in mindset, a decade of abundance, and that is 2010, 2020. We've just passed that. And do you remember, we talk about poverty as a major issue. It is the technology that brought the extreme poverty down. It is going down, definitely. Decline in child mortality. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. Okay? You might have noticed that I am wearing a iron device in my neck. Will be available for all of you when you want it, right? And this is an immune boosting system, recharges the body, improves oxygen flow to the brain, improves blood flow to the brain, reduces stress, regulates stress pattern and mood. So you can all remain like Karuni and Arlanandam all the time. Inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria and viruses. No, you will not get your COVID while you're wearing this. You have two lights there. The first light gives you 40 centimeter iron, negative iron. Well, you know what is negative iron is what you get in the seashore. When you go to the seaside, we feel nice and relaxed, and you get a lot of negative ions, and this is producing it. And if I put the next button, then I will have it around when you are sleeping, or when you want more negative ion around you, you can increase it as well. This is possible. Right. It is not too costly. It's only about $150. You can use it for lifetime, I hope. Regular, okay. And this is another one, the technology that I have quite a number of them. I just thought I'll show you one or two. And this one eliminates odors, control infection. This is again by ultraviolet technology, okay. And ultrasonic toothbrush. Okay, so world's biggest problems, whatever we have, we can turn it into world's biggest opportunities. That's the final abundance thought that I leave it you with. And that's my last slide. But then I also said for Banda's sake that we will conquer COVID-19, and see what I found on the net. We are trying to take virtual steps. All countries are involved, including Canada, but don't forget the mask. Even Fauci is wearing it. Conquering COVID-19. When and from where will vaccine and therapies emerge? We are wondering that. All of a sudden, the contrary claims. Trump said that he produced it, but after cleaning it, all sorts of floor cleaners. Anyway, but at the moment, they are going to release the new batch of vaccines that are available, and the queues are numerous, forming all over. All countries are participating in this game, and there is a state of readiness already has stepped in. I don't know how you all can guess when it is going to stop, and I want Banda to be awake and give us comments on this. Yeah, so we can make simple tips for staying healthy. Okay. And of course, then the people came up with academia of ideas, like what I am talking now, big ideas. And somebody thought they can cure COVID through music. Of course, that was postponed. And they thought that the T cells are the mysterious thing that we are beginning to pick up with. Japanese thought they can do it with a hammer and tools. and still we are discovering. In the meantime, WHO came up with 17 sustainable goals which can be used in conquering COVID. But Nilgiris, they have stopped the tourism, no dog shows. Sri Lanka has brought Ukrainians and then they learned some lesson and then stopped the tourism again. Either we take the vaccine, no, or if you are afraid to take it, remain in your lockdown. Can the vaccine conquer the COVID? I don't know the answer. There are experts, more experts amongst you. You can talk about that. But it produces anxiety. People tell lies and conquering. And somebody wrote a book, as I said, this book is available in India for cheap, but is even cheaper in Egypt because you find photocopied ones. Don't forget the she, especially the ladies amongst us. Saro, Shanti, Benita, Glory, right? They are all women's plus and everything is being done for them. And of course, the usual business is in click and buy, conquer COVID using a t-shirt, all right? And don't forget, China, they have to have their own special hero. And each of the states that you are living in also doing the same thing, conquering COVID an industry. But conquer COVID your own way. That's my last slide. I stopped sharing and let's have comments. Just a big run through because I thought you wanted to finish in time. Yes, Ranjit.
Good one. Maruf,
Yes.
I think this question was asked by Shanti last time also. Why do we want to extend our life so much? What are we going to do? We all retire at 60 or 65. 40 bloody years. What are we going to do?
I have a load of things to do, man. I have to keep these people going. I want to put all your pictures. There are 144 and I counted about 23 are gone. I'm going to keep the rest of you.
No, the point is,
and I produce 100. You know, this is 50 years and I'll produce 100 years.
Yeah, but then the problem is, I know we can just keep on lengthening the longevity of our age, but what is the point if you are not going to have a useful life? Like if you are ill or if you are in the thing is our brain doesn't last so long, even though we think we can. It's going, we forget things.
Narada, speak for yourself.
Hey, Maruf, what are you doing? Maruf, Raghu here from Penang.
Yeah, okay. All right, one at a time. Yeah, okay.
Raghu, you will work.
Hold it, gentlemen. First of all,
can you hear me?
Okay, Raghupati from Malaysia.
Raghupati Raja.
You remember Raghupati? Welcome.
All right to see you guys. Another reject.
Okay, Raghu, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Well, nice to see you guys. Fantastic.
We have a meeting every month. Lovely to see you. I haven't seen you for a long time.
Very good. So nice.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay, now 1 minute.
Somewhere else.
Wait. There is the owner of the Conquering COVID want to say something. Yes, sir.
Banda, you want to say anything?
Banda woke up at this time and came.
Karunian, thanks. Thanks, Maru, for stepping in. I have nothing much to say except the latest news is that the AstraZeneca vaccine is much better than they thought. The vaccine has been criticized heavily purely because of a 3%, what I call a 3% mistake. The people who put that out said that its effectivity or effectiveness was 70, I think they said it was 76% or 9%.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but now they found that it's
I have
76%.
taken
It's a 3% difference, and they made such a fuss about it. I think we got to have more faith in the vaccines, because it is really our only hope. There is nothing else in the horizon. They've done a marvelous job bringing vaccines in so quickly, and we have to show faith in them and encourage people to get the vaccine. Even if it is only 50% effective, it's still worth getting it, provided there are no serious side effects. Any of the vaccines I'm talking about. So we have to really encourage the uptake of the vaccine. And it's improving every sort of week almost. There's something else, and they are working very hard on the so-called variants. People are worried that the variants, saying the one from England and then the one from South Africa, are going to negate the effects of the vaccine. That is entirely wrong. They have found, the latest research has shown that the vaccine is able to overcome even some of the variants that have been now prevalent in the world. The vaccine is effective against. So we really have, there is some good news amidst all these criticisms that are current. It's very difficult from New Zealand to talk about this, because we really don't have enough cases we don't have any cases at the moment, in fact, except those who are coming in, New Zealand citizens who are allowed to come back in, and they bring from the UK and from India mainly, but they are put in quarantine straight away. So we are very fortunate in that sense, but we can't live in this sort of bubble forever. We got to open up. So they're talking at the moment about having what's called an extended bubble, meaning with linking with Australia. There have been moves to do that, and obviously the industrial side and the tourism side, we're extremely keen on this because of the economy. But there have been scares, obstacles, hesitations, and it hasn't still come about. But we're hopeful that within at least the next month,
keep Sri Lanka in their mind.
They have Sri Lanka. Yeah.
South Kerala. One question to you.
Yeah.
Now, the vaccines have been given. For instance, in our community, the percent who have got vaccine is about 8 or 9%.
Right.
Two questions. Number one is, have they shown that vaccine itself will prevent the disease, and have they been documented decrease in incidence because of the vaccine?
Can't answer that, Karunian. I have been, as I sent an email to Maru, I have been out of circulation for the past almost a month now, so I haven't sort of kept up with the literature. But there is no absolute evidence to say yes to the question you asked. That's the last I read. But I don't really know whether there will be that sort of.
Be confident. That's all, I think.
Yeah. What is your other question?
The other question is, I think in our community, I'm talking of California, one part of Southern California, there has been a decrease in the number of cases and also the number of people hospitalized. Number of cases, there is also decrease in the number of testing. And somehow that does not seem to be related to the vaccine, because the number of people vaccinated are small, but there has been a disproportionate fall in the case. So either people have got infected or got the natural immunity, or there's some other mechanism that's at work. So
is there, maybe the healthcare in the hospitals has improved?
No, but the admission itself, well, that is because certainly we know better to manage the cases. But the number of admissions have come down, and number of sick people have come down, and it doesn't seem to be, at least vaccine doesn't seem to be the reason for it. The numbers vaccinated are not large enough to account for that. So
Yeah,
there
we
might be
don't-
other dynamics.
Yeah, isn't there a seasonal effect as well?
Could
I
be,
mean, you
could
got
be.
summer coming in now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, other thing, of course, is it's not a major problem. There's clear indication that when you have sunlight decreased, the COVID infection increases, all infections increases. So they think the mechanism is through vitamin D formation.
Generally, they agree that we should take 4,000 units a day.
Yeah, vitamin D prevents COVID infection quite a lot, and maybe sunlight coming down. I know there are other factors is the point I'm making. I don't know that for sure.
To come back to, about the AstraZeneca vaccine, the problem was nothing to do with the efficacy of 70 or 75%. The problem was some intracerebral clotting. Just want to know whether other vaccines, especially Pfizer and all, didn't have this type of intravascular clotting in the brain.
It's not reported, but the AstraZeneca, there are only 3 intravascular venous thrombosis in UK and 17 cerebral ones out of 22 million.
Yeah.
So
but what they said was
nobody have proved that it is related to the vaccine.
That's right. Yes, it has nothing to do with the vaccine because these people would have anyway developed.
Sure, I know.
Yeah.
No, I think the fear. There are 2 things. Number one, I think every little thing that happens is exaggerated by the press, and that
it's more than press. It's more than press. It's the French and the German politicians caused the whole problem. Because
but on the other hand, the COVID virus has a predilection for clotting issues. For instance, unlike for instance, the damage that is seen in post-COVID people are related to intravascular coagulation and clotting problems.
That's the primary pathology in COVID.
So therefore, they thought is the vaccine, which is a viral vaccine, would that have some other promoted that clotting was the issue that they were thinking of. And but statistically, I agree that there is no statistical correlation. But
no,
now
the other thought is that these people who had the clotting might have already had the infection.
Yeah.
Because they are not tested for the antibodies. So you can't say whether they had it or not. Because I know at least 3 people who had AstraZeneca had more reactions. And when we think back that they probably had the infection before the vaccination.
Raghupati, how is COVID in Malaysia? You are muted.
You are muted. You have to unmute yourself. Raghupati. Thank you.
Not too bad here. Quite comfortable. But we're all getting vaccinated. The frontliners have all been vaccinated in Penang. Now we're going to the next phase when they're going for the seniors above 70 and the people with comorbidities. That's the next stage starting from April 1st. Otherwise, we are fairly under control.
Do you have patients in the hospital and all that?
Sorry, let me get this out. Some bug has come inside. No, we've just started admitting in the private hospitals. Initially, government was taking in all those guys first. All were going to government hospitals. But now slowly, private hospitals are also taking them inside. But I would say, I'm in private hospital, about 2 or 3 cases a day, that's about all. But most of them go to the private sector, the government sector.
How about Australia, Benita?
They have not started giving they have just started giving the vaccine to the over 70s or the healthcare. So far, we have not got anything, but I think all are waiting. Our GPs have booked us in and said we'll call. But this skepticism that couple of odd blood clots have come and whether we should take there's a, people just talk and that talk carries more than You know, I mean, if you look at the thousands and or millions taking it, nobody's bothered, but still people talk and the bad news goes around. So there's a reluctance by a small percentage who don't want to take.
Will the
They
Johnson
ask for advice, but they have already made up the mind not to take.
Banda, will the Johnson's vaccine, that is one-time vaccine, will be better than AstraZeneca? And AstraZeneca, I read the second dose. They said if you take it at 12 weeks, it is very effective and it will cover for the whole year. In fact, I am scheduled to take it in 12 weeks of my last dose that I had.
Yeah, it's too early to say yes to your question, but AstraZeneca is it's coming back. Certainly in some countries they are now using it again. It's a shame about the propaganda, but
I know it's crazy.
There was a small study about giving the second dose at 12 weeks or in 3 months, and they said the immunity is more mature with it than giving it earlier.
Yeah.
So that there's a sort of view that it's better to give in 3 months than earlier than that.
So is it a possibility that we have to take it again a year later?
Yes.
Very likely.
That is still to be determined.
But I think it's very likely. It is most likely it'll be like the flu rather than the chicken pox. Yeah.
No, but in UK they already started talking about giving a booster in the winter.
So Benita, aren't you going to take it when it is offered?
No, I have already put my name. The minute they call, I am going.
Yeah, okay.
I am going to take
How many of you in this group have not got the vaccine?
Yeah, we haven't.
We haven't still had it. We haven't had it. I haven't.
Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Raghu, you have got
still
it?
Only the, I think the active healthcare parts.
Yeah, in
only
the US.
They are giving border people and healthcare people the vaccine now. They haven't moved on to the general population yet in New Zealand, but the over 80s now will be the first in line from the general population when it comes. And I'm not expecting to get it within the next sort of 4 months or so. We might get here. But Benita, your original question about getting the second dose a year later, I think we should expect if we get it later, a year later, say, even AstraZeneca or any other vaccines, it may not be the identical vaccine as the first dose. Every month almost there are slight changes to the vaccine, trying to cope with the variants. So it's
Banda, we have been told that taking the vaccine will not prevent you getting infection, but the severity will be less and the chance of death is much less. And AstraZeneca it also causes less transmission.
Yeah, there has been some recent studies talking, verifying that in terms of transmission. So vaccine, generally people feel that it will reduce the risk of your passing the infection on. Whether it will reduce your chances of your getting the infection initially is still a question mark.
I also thought
that's why they say that you must continue wearing masks and social distancing should be continuing. Even after the vaccination.
That's right.
Yeah, Saro had something to say. Yeah, Saro?
Sorry, I also thought that the virulence of the virus is reduced when the transmission is less.
Yeah.
And that was also an important focus in at least not trying to have more of transmission of the virus. And to that point, actually, Karunian, I was wondering in your community there, whether part of the reason why the numbers went down, even if the vaccination was less, was that because people were standing by the rules of masking and distancing and all of that, following all the so-called CDC guidelines.
Yeah,
I don't
could
know
be.
if that had an effect as well.
Yeah, could be.
So,
Could very well be, because just prior to that, we had a scare and there was a lot of publicity about the number of deaths and all that. All that could have played. I don't know the exact reason, but I'm pretty sure they would have played a factor. But I'm just wondering whether there was any change in viruses or some immunological or biologic base for the decrease in the incidence, because it seemed.
Sorry, Banda, there's no way to find out if actually the virulence of the virus is less or more, right, at this point?
There are ways of, I mean, I'm no expert in virology, but I've read a bit about this, and there are labs that have devoted their entire workforce to finding out more about the virus, the virulence and all that. And if you follow all the literature, which some of it you can't even understand, there's plenty of work on that. And there are changes in the virus, and also within the various, I mean, the so-called South African strain, they have just found last week that people who have got that particular strain and recovered are now more immune to a variety of other variants of the virus, including the viruses that have been prevalent at the very start of this COVID thing. The older ones that are now more or less obsolete, they have been replaced by the newer variants. But these people who have recovered after getting the South African strain are immune to all of those things for a longer time. So there's some work, not some work, plenty of work going on at a rate that, as Maruf said in his introduction, the rate of research and work that's been going on is immense. Never before for anything like this. So
sorry, go ahead,
yeah.
Banda.
No, carry on, Sarah. Yeah.
I had one other thing to raise. I was listening to Farid Zakaria, GPS, I think Karunian, you might be aware.
Sure.
And he was again commenting on the fact that some of the developing countries have much less of a problem with this than the so-called developed countries now. And I have friends in Germany, and my daughter-in-law is from Switzerland, and she was telling us that there is so much of hesitancy, vaccine hesitancy, and people in Switzerland particularly, and in Germany, my friend was saying, we are not wanting to take the vaccine. And in the lowest or less developed countries, so-called, apparently they don't seem to have as much as a problem as some of the Western countries now. And I was wondering, Banda, whether you had any thoughts on that.
I haven't read anything. You mentioned Switzerland. My brother is there, and he just had the vaccine, the 2 doses with 6 weeks apart. The vaccine's available. I can't remember which one. It's not the AstraZeneca. I think it's the other one.
They have the Pfizer.
Yeah, Pfizer. So the vaccine's available in Switzerland, but the uptake is lower than what they expected. That's for sure.
No, that the problem was created by France and Germany with AstraZeneca. They first said that it's not that effective in over 65s. And then they came out with this problem with the clotting. And then they said it's not safe to give it to people under 55. So now they have gone back to say, give it only for people over 55.
Right.
And with all that going on, people are very reluctant to see. And there's big groups have formed who are anti-vaccine now in Europe, whole of Europe.
It's all. I think there's a general observation, as Saro said, that in the tropical countries, which are also the poorer countries, quotes unquote, the impact of the virus has been less than it has been in the northern countries like Switzerland and the European countries and so on. We don't know whether it's a matter of reporting or diagnosis, because testing was much less sparse, or we don't know whether there is some other factors that are operating. But
Or
two
the
factors,
sunlight.
one is sunlight, because one of the information that is coming is vitamin D levels seems to have a very definite relationship to the incidence of COVID and the severity of COVID for a variety of mechanisms. That's a very interesting subject, and I've been studying that a little bit through the endocrine part that I have, and it's interesting to know its impact. The vitamin D is not a vitamin anymore; it's a hormone, and but it seems to have an impact on the immune thing, and there are more and more evidence coming in. That's number one. Number two is whether people find that in countries where BCG vaccination has been given, there seems to be less impact. So whether, we all got BCG vaccination, and whether that is a factor is a speculative thing that is happening too. So there are other things that are happening too, but we don't know. We don't know what it is, whether it is reporting or underdiagnosis or natural factors or artificial factors. But it's interesting.
Is the immunity after getting the COVID infection less because they advise those people who have got the infection to have vaccination also?
Yes.
Yeah, they are having.
Banda, why is that, Banda? They don't do that.
They will, yeah. I think what we need in our group is a virologist. Do we have anyone who's gone into virology? I mean, I can't think of anyone, but the problem, I can find someone in New Zealand, I mean, not Sri Lankan, but it's not possible to ask that person to get up at 3 o'clock and
No, but I think, but we should, before we disband, we should talk about our future programs. But does anyone in our batchmates, their family members, nephews, nieces, sons-in-law, daughters-in-law, anyone do virology? No virologist.
No.
Okay.
Wanda, can this person pre-record the talk?
I can try. Yeah.
No, but I think one of the sources of information, if we decide, is the YouTube. I think you can. There's so many fantastic stuff there, and we can play short clips of it from day. If we decide on a subject and we don't have a speaker, we can get someone from there to educate us, I think, or we'll figure it out. The fascinating thing is, what does the viruses do? How do they mutate? What are the things? The Banda said today that the original virus doesn't exist anymore. So what's happened to it? And so on. It's a fascinating world there.
Maybe Banda can get this virologist to kind of record it for us. I don't know if you want to give it a shot.
Narada must have influenced
can
the
try,
whole
sir.
viruses to go away. Narada must have told the story. Same story he told us just now. Did you tell the viruses to go away? You're getting old.
So we can also maybe have a discussion on Narada's philosophical question. Why the hell do we want to live, right?
Good. Yeah.
Narada, you must lead the discussion. What are the reasons not to live?
No, I think we should ask our Lawrence to come out with it.
Lawrence will talk mechanistically. Lawrence, what's the answer?
Why do we want to, do all sorts of things to extend our life like this?
You're muted, Majan.
He's not muted.
No, we can't hear. Can't hear.
Lawrence, your words of wisdom are not being spread.
Shall I answer it?
Yeah,
Okay.
1 minute and then we'll go to you, Pat. Lawrence, you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Volume must be down.
How is that?
Can see him.
Better.
Yeah, now I think you may, Lawrence, try once more. Sorry, Majan, can't. All your words of wisdom are.
Now? Can you hear this? No.
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Majan?
now we can.
All right. I mean, some of us are still working and we're free. Our children have grown up. We do work jobs only if we want to. We're free to do anything. So there's so much to do and to write and to communicate our experience and to enjoy our grandchildren and give the world the fruits of our experience and our labor. There's so much to do, Narada.
So, Narada, the bottom line is you have to have purpose.
No. The problem is not that we don't have a purpose. We have a purpose. I mean, I like to enjoy myself. But, our tissues cannot now, especially the brain tissue. Now we forget so much. I mean, what can we do to stop forgetting? Now I can't remember half the names of my friends or anyone. Even when I say
your name is?
Okay, yeah. Before we go, why don't we give Dr. Padmalingam Biden? He's President Biden's friend, so we have to listen to him.
No.
Okay.
I will be very philosophical. I believe in the Lord like all of you. And there are various religions. I respect all the religions. The Lord brought this virus in a lab from China because the whole world is getting to be angry and hatred instead of love. So
No harmony.
So what I'm trying to say is the virus has opened our eyes, and I'm very proud of you all that we are discussing the most important part of this, how to get to be safe from the virus. And we are trying to also see whether the whole world could be protected by the vaccine. And I think there is a lot of effort to get to be more knowledgeable on this. So I think what I want to say about living long, what Narada says, why do we have to live long? Happiness is a commodity we cannot buy anywhere. We have to make our own way of to be happy. And the fact that I came to America from England 48 years ago, there was something, the Lord helped me. I believe in the Lord, and Karanian also is the happy guy, and all of us are happy anyway. What I'm trying to say is the Western world is totally different from the culture we came from, but we have made a lot of adjustment to understand it and adjust and to be happy. So let's all be continuing to live long, find ways to help humanity like what we were all about for almost like 50 odd years. Doctors are there to give rather than take, and that's what we all did. We gave our life, whatever expertise we had, and to also have children who are more productive and more knowledgeable than what we are. And togetherness is the way to go. The world has to come together. Division, hatred is totally, absolutely inhuman. And that's what the way my parents also said. I will finish up with what my teacher father said. Karanian's father was a principal anyway. My father was also educated at St. John's College, where Karanian's father was the principal during my time. So my father said on his deathbed at age 83, I am getting closer to it. So he said he had all of us and 26 grandchildren around him, and he said, by the way, he extended his arm, scooped his palm, left palm, and I said, look at my palm, it is empty. But he said, a satisfied mind is a pot of gold. He says, there is nothing in my palm, but my mind is satisfied. A satisfied mind is a pot of gold. And he also said, giving is better than taking. With this logo, thanks for listening to me. That is the logo we all have, I know, as batchmates. And I think, Maharuf, I think you are a fantastic guy to organize this. We have to continue. And Narada, we have to live long, because if my theory in America is, if I don't live, I don't get a social security on the last Wednesday of the month. So I have to live.
Good reason.
Enough season.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Padmalingam. Thank you, Padmalingam.
Must be like the pension.
So, gentlemen, anyone else wants to say any philosophical words?
Yes, Karunyan, I like to ask on a different sort of topic, still connected with COVID, about these passports, which is causing some confusion and concern about people in England. The pub people are saying that if they don't know how to stop people coming, and one of the ways of making sure that they are not bringing the virus in is to have the passport. And that again is causing problems, because the younger people don't have passports because they are not having the virus injections and so on, vaccination. So therefore, this is causing a lot of debate at the moment with regard to economic concerns as well, because if the pubs don't start, if the eating houses don't start, and the dancing and other types of musical things don't start, that's a problem. So one of the ways of controlling this situation is to have passports. Some people are for, other people are against, and they are coming up with reasons as to why it can cause difficulties. What are we thinking about them?
I don't know. Anyone? Edwin or Glory, you got any thoughts? I don't know what the passports are.
No, show you this. The passport system was there for ages and ages, because I can remember those days when smallpox and cholera was endemic in India. Anyone going from Sri Lanka has to carry this yellow book. You had to go to the MOH, get the vaccination, and with the stamp on it. And when they come back from India for two weeks, they had to report to the PHI at weekly intervals. So the passport is not something new. The only problem in UK is that we are still vaccinating only 50 plus people. So most of the people who go to the pubs are much younger than that. And the employees in most of those places are almost 90% below 50 years. So how are they going to get a passport? And they are not on a priority list either. So passport at the moment in UK it's a no-go thing. But they had to think of some other way of doing it.
So passport is to go to the pubs, is it?
Any sort of crowded place, but pubs are the main thing. The issue has come because the landlords have come out with this idea, but most of the landlords are against it now, because after telling this only, they found the problem that majority of the employees and at least 50% of the people who the customers will be under 50. So they wouldn't have had the vaccine, though they can't have the passport.
How many of you all think this is full?
At the moment, they are doing for the 50 plus.
This is I think I still feel it is half.
I think
I don't feel it is full.
Whatever it is, we have to be very proud of being in England, because already more than 50% of the population has been vaccinated. I know America has the highest number of vaccinations, over 100 million already, but that's 1/3 of the population. But in England now, over 45% of the people have been vaccinated. But as Edwin pointed out, it's all the 50. At the moment, they are still going on over 50s. So but it's very important that we have to solve this out quite quickly, because the foreign travel and holidaying season is coming. And if you don't have this passport business sorted out, there's going to be a huge loss for the airline industries and the holiday industries in other countries like Greece and Spain and places like that. So I don't know what the answer is, but what they are saying is people, at least the people who are traveling abroad or going to the theater and various places, to carry some form of proof that either they have had a negative test in a recent past within 96 hours or something, or evidence of both vaccinations. So what they are now trying to do is to, there is something called the NHS website. NHS website, if you have had the vaccination, your name is there already. So you can prove that. If you show that NHS, I don't know what you call it, yes. If you go to the pub or to the theater or to the airline and show that you have had both vaccinations, then you can travel. But then the question comes, what about the people below 50? I don't know. That I can't answer.
Yeah, thanks, Narendra.
So the bottom line question for me as an American.
In Saudi Arabia, we have this, this is Saudi Arabian thing to say that I have been vaccinated, and this is a permit. Even to go to supermarket, I need to take that.
Yeah. Now,
it will warn you. If there is somebody within 10 meters of you, it will tell you there is somebody with COVID positive person around.
I think Australia also has similar thing.
South Korea started it long ago.
Yeah, Australia also has it. South Korea has it. I think where they track it through the thing. Yeah.
No, the problem is not the issue of the certificate. The issue is at the moment, people who didn't have the vaccine, what is their plight?
Yes.
And
that's
the
right.
majority are the ones who are not vaccinated.
Start a little counterfeit certificate business, you'll make money.
Oh, that's going to happen very soon. Overnight, it will happen.
Yeah.
But Edwin, the thing is, now I think Boris Johnson promised that by May, all the adult population will be vaccinated. That means everyone over 18. Everyone over 18.
There will be no problem once that happens, but the problem is at the moment, because now they are lifting.
No, but at the moment, it doesn't matter, because they are not going to open fully till the 17th of May. Only on the 17th of May that they are going to open foreign travel, restaurants, and the non-essential shops.
Yeah.
So by that time, if the whole of the population, adult population in England or UK, I don't know.
But the problem is the supply of vaccine, because India stopped what was ordered for UK, and now EU is trying to block the Pfizer supply, because we are getting quite a bit of Pfizer. So what the AstraZeneca produce in UK is not enough to go around, because they are already committed for export for other countries. So if they stop, then they have to face litigation against it.
The problem you guys have is that you got out of the EU.
That's not the problem.
No. Thank goodness we got.
Why the hell do you do that?
No, that's why at least we prevented the spread. At least the vaccination went on well.
Yeah, but see, the Germany and France has learned from Trump, and they're putting fake news.
Yeah. That 27 countries are suffering, but we are happy at the moment.
Yeah.
But Sri Lanka has opened its airports, and people can come here if they had both doses of the vaccination done and have a PCR test negative within 48 hours of travel.
Yeah. That's only.
So you can all come to Sri Lanka now.
Seriously, so Ranjit, it's all open, is it? People can come now.
But you have to have both doses of vaccination done, and you have to have a PCR done
Sri Lanka,
48 hours before travel. Negative.
Can they come?
I got my first dose of vaccine on December 18th.
But you should add your second one.
Yeah, second also in January 8th. I got it right in the beginning. Because of the hospital, I was belonging to a hospital they gave.
Because we were given 3 months there, but they had done it in 2 months, the second dose.
So gentlemen, can we focus for about 5 minutes and get an idea of the programs you want to have? How serious do you want it to be and how light do you want it to be? And can we have an idea? We have one program most likely planned for next week, and I would urge you all to bring all your friends and come. Saro's son is going to give us a talk, hopefully. If Saro uses a maternal power and persuades him to talk to us, hopefully he'll give us a talk. After that, is there any specific subjects that you all want to talk? Do you want to have a philosophical talk on the purpose of life or something like that? Or do you want to talk on... So I am very passionate about getting information out on South Asian heart disease issues.
That's what
I have looked...
I think I agree with you, Karunian. The heart disease talk would be very useful. Who's going to lead it?
See, now I have been following this partly because it came through metabolic syndrome and the insulin resistance and so on. So I've had an interest in it for a long time, but there is lots of new knowledge, because Stanford has a program looking purely on South Asian heart disease. They have a lot of patients from Northern California in particular, but they also are now working with India. In India is the highest, South Asians are the highest number of heart disease patients. So they have some information, but can't get a speaker. It's almost impossible to get a speaker, but we can get a video presentation. I mean, there's one video presentation which was given in 2014 by the director of the Stanford South Asian Heart Institute thing. But it's about 1 hour long, but we may be able to cut off, but it gives you really, really nice stuff. There's one in 2019. So the video presentation is fortunately available. So I think that's the best substitute and easy. We can put that up and
are they available on the YouTube?
Yes, they are available on the YouTube. I'll get it on the YouTube for you. I'll sort it out and give you a. If you don't mind, I will screen it and bring out whatever is there. And I think we really have to see. For me, my nephew at 39, he had a heart attack and he passed away when he was 49. A brilliant guy, scholar at Berkeley. Oh, he died, and so many families are affected like the South Asian family. There's also a book by a fellow called Ronesh Singha, who talks specifically and gives particular lifestyle action thing. I can send the names of the book to you if you want to buy that, but that's reading. But I think it's an interesting subject with relevance to our families and friends and so on. So I think I'll arrange for that program maybe in the month of May, because April is taken now.
Heart health.
Karunian, shall I make a comment? I'm sorry about the loss in your family, 49 years. Only 1 month ago in England, a nephew of mine, 57 years, died with an acute heart attack. But let me tell you the story about, I don't want to run down the healthcare in UK, but he called the family doctor with an abdominal pain. He was treated on the phone with some medication. I spoke with the wife later. And then in desperation, he called me the following day, Papu Mama. They call me Papu. So I have severe abdominal pain. So I asked him, don't drink or eat anything, go straight to the emergency room. He called the ambulance. They said, there is no ambulance, you come by a taxi. This is a true story about my dear nephew. It's only 30 days today. So he managed to get the wife to take him to the emergency room. They evaluated him. They made the diagnosis that he had an acute MI. He was taken and they put 2 stents. You wouldn't believe, in about 16 hours, he called me back from the ICU to say, this is the thing. It was abdominal pain, but I had a heart attack. They have put stents. But somehow his ejection fraction was too low. Then they had to do various other ways of sustaining his life. But on the 23rd of February, he died. Anyway, so I think all I'm trying to say is that the talk you are talking about is very important, I think, because you lost a family member. I lost a family member. Dear guy, he even came for my son's wedding about 6 years ago from England. So I think I'm a little in passion now about the loss. He's such a good guy. He had a ecom in economics. He's a very knowledgeable guy. His wife's brother is a consultant surgeon in England. All this blah blah thing. Anyway, so I cannot stand this loss. But the idea is healthcare. I know because of COVID, the GP could have just told exactly what I told him the previous day. Then the damage to the heart muscle could have not have been that extensive for him to have an ejection fraction of 15 or 20 for them to take him back to the OR and do various types of trying to sustain his life. But he died. So I think that talk is important. My son is a cardiologist. I can ask him whether he will make time to have a 10 or 15 minutes presentation.
Okay, I'll talk to him and see. But general cardiology that we have in the US doesn't cover the South Asian perspective. See, and so the South Asians have a special risk factor that's got to be recognized and understood. They're still trying to work out the biochemical parameters and so on and so forth. But there is some knowledge, but not total knowledge. But so ask your son whether, I'll give you the information whether if he can do. It'll be nice if someone comes and speaks. But the videos are very compelling and very well done, and right from the people who are doing the work. So we can choose that, and one or the other we can get some thing.
But I think
this is technology.
We are having a lot of NCDs, hypertension, diabetes, hypercholesterolemia, which are all increasing in incidence.
Sure. No, it is all part of metabolic syndrome. If you recall, in 2004 when we went, I gave a talk on metabolic syndrome. That is so fundamental. That is insulin resistance is so fundamental to the South Asian population. It's all over when you see it, and Sri Lanka too.
It is a major issue as well. There are 3 major issues we need to deal with. I think if you are doing cardiac, that's fine. The next one is, I think brain health is very important. I think brain health is also is a thing of concern. And third one is, of course, the most important one is insulin and obesity. And
they are related. I think
they have a relationship with each other.
We can do insulin resistance and diabetes
so keep this
as a separate subject. But the cardiac is one where it really impairs families. So we'll work on those. I'll work with Padmalingam's son too and see whether we can get a talk going. But so that'll be in the month of May.
April will be 24th.
April, Saro, yes, Saro, yeah.
Ranjit, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I wonder if you have any suggestions about anyone in Sri Lanka who's doing any work or currently who's considered a good person to discuss this in Southeast Asia.
I can't think of anyone at the moment.
Aru, are you prepared to pay the price in Sri Lankan terms? The Sri Lankan doctors don't come free.
It's all right.
No, but I know, Saro, the point is, I don't think there is a general cardiac knowledge that we all have, diet, exercise and all that. But there is also something very specific to South Asian profile that is being studied by, I think, in one of the best places you can think of at Stanford. And I think even though it's a video presentation, I learned so much from it, the problem and the issue. And the problem in Sri Lanka and all that is normalized. I mean, getting a heart attack at 50, 55 is not a big deal. You know, I mean, but here in the US, because there's a Caucasian population to compare with, or in England where the Bangladeshis were compared with the Caucasians, it stands out. So I don't know if there is anyone, Ranjit, yes, definitely. The whole problem of thing, but I from the little I know of Sri Lankan medicine, they follow the general cardiac information that we all have. We all have. So we'll try it and see. But that's a subject we can have in month of May.
Karunyam, are you talking about genetic factors? Because those are being challenged, that the gene differences are not significant.
No, what the cause of it is still being debated, but we do know that there is an increased incidence of insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease, which can be reversed by environmental dietary factors. But there could also be alleles and genes that they are going into it. So I don't know all the answers. For instance, they think that there could be an increase in the LPLA, the little LA, which is a very atherogenic LDL particle. So there are little things that are coming up. But I also don't know the extent of the knowledge they have. But it's worth us listening to it, just focusing and starting to discuss it. It may be genetic, it may not be genetic. I don't know the answer. We'll have to find out. They are also trying to find out, I think.
Arunian, there are genetic factors as well, apart from the other factors, because we all know of families where the father died at the age between 40 and 50, and the same thing happened to the son and all that sort of thing. So I'm not saying it's only genetic, but genetic might be one of the things involved amongst other things.
Could be. No question. It's a whole sub part of the world. There are multiple factors. The question is really for the younger folks. You know, I got a son who's 49, another son who's 47. What do they do? I mean, I struggle with the question, do they start statins now? I mean, they are both, they diet and exercise and they do have good lifestyle. But do you start statin now? Do you start aspirin now? Because statins are known to cause diabetes and increase insulin resistance. So these finer questions, I don't know the answer. Now there's a new cholesterol lowering agent called PCKS7, which is that going to be better than statins? So so these are the questions that we must just learn for our sakes. But more importantly, there is so much new knowledge coming that our children should be hooked up into that, because if there is genetic factors, as Mohan says, and which I am sure is true, then it's the next generation that we have to think of, and the following generation, and that's what I'm worried about. Yeah.
There are two factors that are important. One is epigenetics. Second is the new knowledge and new developments in life care itself. I mean, we are not focusing on health. We are focusing on life. A lifestyle seems to contribute more towards getting away from the individual genetic situation. That's why they call it epigenetics. Epigenetics, you can prevent to some extent if you have a great genetic tendency to get diabetic. You can overcome that by getting a positive attitude, and second, living whatever that is best. So I think your children will have definitely a better life, and the expected life expectancy is going up to 142. So I think
Narada be one.
If you work out,
Narada, if you're going to live to 142, Madan,
154
to brew beer.
I will kill myself.
Narada, the best thing to do is to learn to brew some beer.
Controlled by 7 years for each cell. 7 into 22 is 154 years. This is theory. Achievable theory.
You know, one day we should get into the subject of longevity science, the science of getting younger and younger. You know, there's a lot of money in that. But beyond injections and Botox shots, there is also the physiology of that. Maybe I don't know too much. Maruf may know on that.
I have a lot of information on that collected. Life care from the, you see, if you put life care on your Google, the first thing it comes out is life care, or they are here to give you life care, don't worry. And how old are you, 80 or 90? Because when you're disabled, they're coming to give life care. I started life care at when you're 1 cell. I think life care starts at 1 cell and stem cell. And that stem cell can renew your life care at a later stage as well. So I think there's a lot of new information that has come. You can reverse your age. You live for 10 years from now and you become 10 years younger. We can do that. Yes, don't shake your head, Glory, sideways. Yes.
It's possible, yes.
This is possible. And only thing is...
No, it is possible.
It is possible. The reason is there are several things. Life is about activity, and you are a conglomerate of about 50 trillion cells, and all the cells are functioning differently. They don't last more than 5 to 7, and some cells do live up to 10 years. These are evidence. This is proven science. 10 years, and now they also found the telomeres. We have limited number of telomeres. Every time a cell multiplies and leaves the other cell behind, then it loses 1 telomere. Then that means your life is limited to 22 telomeres by 7 years. Then now they are finding that some of the smaller organisms that they do multiply their telomeres as well. So we can have 30 telomeres and 10 years each. So I think 300 years is a possibility.
Even Moses didn't live that long. He lived only up to 1.
So Maruf.
No one lived 900 years.
Huh? Maruf.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's one day we give us a talk about living more, but someone has to tell us why we should live more. That is more important, I think.
That is Narada.
And Narada, you should do that. Narada, my prescription to you, Narada, is learn to brew beer.
No. The Narada will come one day on the scene and say, who the hell are you all? I remember you. No, that's not possible, Narada.
So next week, before we go from the subject of the program, next week, can we?
Next time.
Please, next time. 24th of April for the next meeting. Right. Can you please publicize and get
29th of May? Then we have 26th of June ready.
Okay, so for the May meeting, I'll try and get some South Asian heart issues. For the June meeting, I don't know if someone can talk the little less heavy medical subject. Maybe Lawrence, can you undertake to give a little bit of understanding of why we should live?
Okay.
Why don't you have happiness by singing karaoke? One session.
What's that?
After the next
person to person, but yes, reasons for living. We can.
Okay, all right.
Woman named Marcy in your hand.
Okay, all right. Narada, make sure you live till then to be there for the talk. After that, you can decide what to do after that. Okay, great. And
all right.
Yeah, I want to just and then so at least 3 talks. If you have any of your family members who can give some talks, it'll be really nice, because there's something nice about that. So if any of your family members are in the medical field or many paramedical field, it'll be wonderful to listen to them too. So we got April, May, June. Well, for the next one, please publicize and get people in. You know, today Milroy and Vijay Sekhar have not come from California.
I'll put a 1-year calendar for you.
What's happening to the Sri Lankan crowd except Ranjit? Nobody wants to join, is it?
Today Vikramachandran also didn't come for some reason. Very
Yes.
prominent member of
3 a.m. No, it's 1 a.m.
Banda should really, we need to give a clap to Banda for being up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
When I said that, he was so glad to come. And he made
Banda brings knowledge to all of us, yeah. And so that's good. We have something to, so the next talk, I think Narada and Lawrence, you decide on the purpose of living talk in June, right?
No, Lawrence, let Lawrence do it, yeah.
No, but you got to ask the questions for him.
Yeah, I'll ask the questions.
Raghupati, no one else from Malaysia?
No, there are a few guys, but they all are.
Tasim comes in, but Tasim didn't come today.
No, I'm just a guest artist by
few meetings ago he came.
I just came to say hello to you guys.
How did you find out about it?
No, Maru sent me a mail yesterday. So I thought I'd just come in and say hello to you guys. I won't be a regular guy here, just to say, nice to see you, your face. And of course, my nephew, Lawrence Ratna, is there. I've not seen him for ages. He's my nephew, you know. Lawrence?
Really?
Yeah, not my cousin, he's my nephew. His father is my first cousin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Aren't they okay?
What I remember in Bloemfontein, and we had double beds, and I look at the mirror which shows Raghu's head, and I say, Raghu, you're still sleeping. Right. 5 to 8, Raghu jumps out. Hey, lecture, man.
And I'm so glad I met you all. I'm going to leave now. Catch up with you all next time.
Okay, Raghupati. Take care. Thanks for coming.
300 bucks.
Now
we look forward to.
You all studied at St. John's.
Sorry, what's that?
And Lawrence telling us why we should live long, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have the Lawrence's talk before the cardiac talk. Because if Lawrence's talk persuades us that we don't have to live long, the cardiac talk is redundant.
So next talk is Saro's son, yeah?
Saro's son, Saro, that's confirmed, right?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, hook up with Maruf. Maruf is the logistical guy.
I will.
Yeah, okay. Anytime.
And then get Nihal also to come for the talk. We can all, I'll get Inbam also to come. I think we can call our spouses and all that for the next talk. Have a little larger crowd.
Can be a family talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Does anyone know what happened to Sam Soisa?
Sam Soisa is going to come to Sri Lanka very soon, I heard.
What's that?
Sam is expected in Sri Lanka very soon.
Yeah. If you can travel, he'll get back. Nalini is still there. Nalini is still there, right? Who are the people who came for that? This was someone's birthday, is it? You guys got together?
No, it was a get together, but it was Tirak, not Tirak, this Seniviratna.
Tissa.
Birthday.
Tissa Seniviratna and Subba's birthday. Belated birthdays.
How is Subba doing? They're all doing well?
Hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, I am out. I'm going for the workout.
Okay.
Thank you.
They prefer to stay in Sri Lanka.
So can't you get those guys to come for the next talk?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, can you tell them that Saro's son is giving a talk and get all of them to come?
I think, yeah, if you can have a synopsis, Saro, you can communicate with me, I'll be grateful. And we can just announce it and send a photograph of your son as well.
But Lalita says she doesn't want to come for these serious talks.
No, she said last time, she said she will come for this one.
No, that is what I am also wondering whether we are getting too serious. Whether we should have. What do you think?
No, but occasionally lighter one will be better. Yes, we are getting into a more serious one.
Conquering COVID is not.
So can you suggest a talk?
I think we'll put Narada for that.
No.
We talk and laugh inside here, though we are serious.
Yeah, till they join, they won't know. No?
Fasting.
Okay, we'll share ideas on the WhatsApp group and see.
Yeah.
I think all this is because of Kodda. Kodda, you are the guy who kept us together, Kodda.
Can I
We
suggest
must one day really honor Kodda.
He's keeping more than
Yeah.
Yeah, truly. You know, you're one guy who really kept us together.
No, I'll be happy.
Kodda, are you also are you painting still?
Yes. You can see.
I think
So you show your paintings.
You
I
can
think
see
make a recommendation to the Queen to give him a knighthood.
What's that?
We recommend the Queen to give him a knighthood for maintaining our group.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yes.
No,
Kodda.
I'll be happy to do that.
Kodda, will you give a talk on the philosophy of life? Why we should live and not?
I'm a simple man. There are no great philosophy.
So give a simple talk.
Okay then.
Can I suggest one other topic, last topic? One for the road. Sexual health for the over 60s.
Pardon? What's the
Enough.
Nobody is supporting you.
Hey, no man. Yeah, Narada is woke up. He almost gave up his life a few minutes ago.
What happened to Shanti?
Maybe occupied. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see her.
Oh, Shanti is there.
She's fine. She talked to me. She talked with me yesterday, so she's okay.
She's sleeping there.
She didn't come there.
I know.
Opened the computer and left it.
Okay, somehow we had to have a program to attract everyone back in.
I think so. I think the first
So
thing is
Ranjit, try and persuade the Sri Lankan guys to come.
Is it the time or is it what is the thing that's preventing them from coming at all?
No,
it's too serious. It's too serious.
From this week it will be
At 3 in the morning.
Hours.
Sri Lanka is 7.
I think so, yes.
No, Sri Lanka is only evening now.
Yeah.
I know. It's only Australia and New Zealand that's getting the
Sri Lanka. It's not too far away.
It will be only 4.5 hours from next week.
Maruf.
Yeah.
What about Nilani? Nilani has never come, no, to
she
meetings.
came, but I think she had been informed.
But I know, but has she ever? I don't know what the problem is.
She has joined once or twice.
Oh, Nilani.
She has.
They have problem. They have problem with their Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the main thing is the internet
That
problem.
is the main problem.
Mary, I have asked Mary many times, and Mary says
Amarasingam is not
she
there
just
today.
is scared to mess around with the phone and.
Yeah, that is right. She's normally.
If they have one place where they can all meet at one person's place.
I think I will call her and try to sort her internet problem. And Satrugnan, I tried my best to organize it, but and I even told Ruben to help him to get the thing going, but he still has not got WhatsApp. But I have informed him personally also on his phone. I call him directly. Let's see. I think we need to try and communicate with the others.
No, there are a lot of other guys. Koneswaran.
Koneswaran is that you can contact him.
I know, but he doesn't look at his phone apparently, and you know his wife. He's anti-technology.
I will try to contact Chula Ratna.
Yeah, why don't you get Chula?
I will contact you. I give him a call.
Yeah, you know, Mohan, send me Chularatna's telephone number.
I have to look it up. I don't know whether I have it in one of my diaries. I can't think straight away, but I will try to look for it.
Ranjit, are you in contact with Chularatna? He is still practicing, right?
He's practicing.
Yeah, he's in Kurnagal. I'll have to contact you.
Well, he has good knowledge of dermatology.
Yeah. He was such
What
a.
about
Nalimpera is still in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I got Chula's number here. Yeah.
I must tell you a story about our life at the medical hostel, which was called Jivaka. You must have heard about it.
Yeah.
And we were in Turret Road, in front of Liberty. And Chularatna was my roommate along with two other people. One was Atukorala, the cardiologist. Other one was JV.
We call him Postmaster General.
Who?
Atukorala. He was MOPD and always between 12 and 2, he'll stamp all the cases so that he want the interns to be in the ward.
Was it, there were two Atukoralas. Which Atukora? He's the cardiologist chap, not the other Atukora.
Yeah, he became cardiologist later.
Right, okay. And the other one is GVJ Harishchandra, the psychologist in Gaul.
Yeah.
So there used to be a group.
But this one, he was staying in the same quarters.
There used to be a group that went to study somewhere down Beira, that area, and one chap had a car. He died. I can't remember his name now. That as Narada said, that the names are gone. Anyway, at about 12:30, I heard, I was in the front room, these three other people on the four walls, each of us had a bed. So I heard the car coming and stopping and good night and all, and somebody came and opened the door and came near our door, opened the door and did something. I was not quite sure what. And after some time, Chularatna got out of bed in a hurry and did something with his sarong, and something fell down. And he smiled. I could see, it was past 12 in the night. I could see Chularatna smiling, and he went out of the door. And after a while, there's another chap called Karunapala who was very worried about this Kodivina and all sorts of things that people can do to harm others. And suddenly he came charging, and Chularatna was still up, smiling, and he gave him a thundering slap. You bloody bastard and all. What happened was, those people who were going for studies caught a tortoise and brought the tortoise and left it on Chularatna's bed. And the tortoise went up his sarong. And Chularatna took it and kept it under Karunapala's bed. And Karunapala thought somebody was doing something terrible, and that is how it happened. I think it might be good to have interesting episodes from various people.
I think so.
Chularatna was so, I don't know, the heart murmurs. I once was Ernie Pires. Ernie Pires said, listen to the heart. And all kinds of sounds I heard, I couldn't even figure out what it is. Chularatna listened and came, and he just, mid-systolic, mid-diastolic, all this thing. Ernie was so impressed. He could figure out all those heart murmurs. I couldn't, sort it out at all. Yeah, he was very good. Nice guy, very organized and quiet. Saro also was in the same batch, right? You were with us, right, Saro?
Yes.
Yeah, you was Benita also. Benita, Saro. Yeah.
What happened to Ranjini?
Pereira.
Ranjini Pereira, yes. Anesthetist.
She came for one of the
She came for the meeting yesterday. She came yesterday.
She's in Sri Lanka, isn't she?
Yeah, of course.
She joined us yesterday on Thursday for lunch.
Yeah.
So Ranjit, can't you get your group together and all of us have a little Zoom, huh?
Yeah, Ranjini, no, I don't have, but I know she's very friendly now. So Mary might know. We'll check.
Yeah. Yaso was there. Yaso has stopped coming, isn't he? Yaso.
Sorry, huh? What's that? Saro, you said something?
No, I said I got a whole bunch of photographs about their lunch from Nilani. I'd sent it on WhatsApp.
And Lala sent
that they had.
Lal
What
Sen.
is
There's
that
about
group?
12 of you, I think, almost.
What about Lal Jai Singh? Huh?
Yeah, because
They were there yesterday, all of them.
They're all there, no? They can come. One of
Vijita,
them.
including Vijita.
Ranjit, what was the occasion? You just got together, is it?
Yeah,
No, it
no,
was two people's
Nalin
birthdays,
arranged it. Nalin Pera.
Nilani's birthday that time.
Not
isn't it? Once.
Nilani's, not Nilani's. It
No,
was
no.
two other people, I think, Tissa and somebody else.
All right.
Tissa and Subhas.
That last
This
time
it was
also Nilani.
Tissa.
Yesterday Ranjani came,
That's
Nilani
right.
came.
I think Ranjit, you have to work a little harder.
Yesterday, Nalin Pera was there.
Yeah.
Lal Jayasinghe was there.
Yeah, Lal is the one who
Ranjani
put,
Pera was there. Mary
group.
was there. Lalita was there.
What about
Then Tissa was there.
Pats and
No, not
Vijita and
Pats.
Vijita
Only
and
Vijita only came.
Vijita
There
came.
he come. There he go.
Vijita came.
How is Pats doing?
Pats
He's
is
not
not
very well.
too well, I think.
Pats has problems with the joints, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Arthritis, yeah.
Tell him he has polymyositis, yeah.
Well, the other one, Mona,
We should
Jupiter,
get
Jupiter
Vijita. We
Munamala
should
and
get,
Soma.
you know what? We should get Vijita to give a talk on meditation. He's big into that.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Other one is
doesn't.
Soma and Jupiter.
Huh?
Jupiter Munamala.
in Kurunagala.
Yeah, well, they are on the Facebook with me.
What is the total death count in our batch now?
I think we should have a list, isn't it? I think, Charles, Mr. Kodikara, what about drawing up a list?
Yes, I maybe I made a list some time ago. Now I'll have to remake it.
That
We haven't
list,
lost,
that list needs
recently
to
we
be
haven't lost,
updated.
You have to add Patrick also. By the way, you know, Patrick had a funeral service. I put the thing on if you want to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it, yeah.
Patrick, nice fellow, Patrick.
I did watch it. Yeah.
What about Nicetas?
I don't know. He's in California. I'll try and contact the guy. I'll try and contact him. We should really say, Maru will make a list of the guys who don't come. Put it on the WhatsApp.
31 in the list here. After Patrick, with Patrick 32, I don't know any other numbers. I think we not put. At the 50.
No, but we should contact, we should have one meeting, try and get everyone together and have some nice, maybe a magic show or something to attract the guys. And I'll talk to Nicey and see whether he'll come and sing a song.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do it like if we say it's a batch reunion, a Zoom batch reunion or something.
Yeah.
That's a good thought. Very good. Yeah.
Shall we have it for April then?
Yeah, that should be all right. Yeah.
No, April is Saro's son. May we'll publicize it now.
Yeah, for
and
the May.
We have to get a program going, creative program going.
Okay.
And then we should get Abesiri Gunawardena. Do you know where L.U. Abesiri is?
Yes. He's
Abesiri is in London.
He's not far from London. He goes to a Buddhist temple periodically. I will ask the priest whether he's got his contact number or something.
Yeah. So if you can get that and send it also to me, I was very friendly with the guy.
Okay.
So L.U. Abesiri Gunawardena,
Abesiri
Padmini Perera.
Aruranathan, same age, no?
What's that?
Abesiri must have sat close to you, no?
Yes. All A's.
Yes.
Yeah, L.U. Abesiri. Yeah, we were very friendly. Nice guy. He went to New Zealand, I thought, and then anyway.
He didn't stay long.
He stayed there. He didn't stay in New Zealand.
No.
New Zealand, except Banda, who else is there? Guru Singh is there. And who else?
No, Guru Singh has gone to Tasmania now.
Yeah, he's in Tasmania. Sometimes he comes back to New Zealand, yeah. And
Another chap,
Can I do something? I'll send a list to all of you with empty spaces where the names are there, but empty spaces on mobile and email. If you can help, and then put it in, even if it is done over and over again, no problem.
Why don't you send a list of the batchmates?
Wonder how is Rex Pereira? He was not so
But
well.
both Ramesiri and Rex Pereira are not too well. That's why I think they're not. They can't.
Remember, there was a suggestion that we remember our
well.
batchmates who passed away.
Yes.
I think we'll take Saro's suggestion and say we're going to have a batch reunion.
As a reunion
Good idea.
thought.
Yeah,
With one of those items as remembering the people who batchmates who had passed away.
I think
will be reunion.
Maruf can find a way of sending sandwiches on the internet.
I'll send one of these. Whoever joins now. I'll get some.
You can do it on Amazon and send it really to all of us.
You know, Maruf, I would suggest that we have 2 or 3 people who be organizing committee.
Yeah.
One is Ranjit, has to be in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Okay. And I would suggest Maruf, of course, you are the central guy. Okay. Saro has good ideas and she has good contacts. Maybe 5 or 6 people into organizing committee.
And you yourself?
Yeah, I'll be in it. And
Australia,
we'll have geographic thing. Yeah, Vikram, yeah, we can get any number of people. Let's, but then have a plan.
Guru Singha's number.
Guru Singh. Then there are other people out there. New Zealand wasn't Sujata.
Sujata is there.
She died.
Sujata died, I thought.
Yeah, Sujata
died about 3-4 years ago.
At least 2 years ago.
Who is that?
Sujata. Paul was here. Nobody knows where he is.
No.
Fry came. Did he Fry?
Fry is in Connecticut. I can contact him. So we'll do a reunion.
We'll get the list.
Set a list, and if you can, Koda is also. If you just put a list and we'll start working. We'll just
Ranjit Hettiarach is in Australia, no?
Yes.
Ranjit Hettiarach has to come in.
He was moving house or something.
So we'll have a reunion in May.
Karunian, it might be good to get a list of our batch.
Yes, that's what I'm suggesting. Maruf has it, right? Maruf?
I have.
He has it. So send the list out and find out.
If you send the list out, then we can try and see whether we can.
I'm going to send all of you plus all the people who have the emails. Some of the emails have returned.
Maybe one idea is to put
there are lots of people's name in the email list. They are not there anymore.
I know
How
that.
can we get rid of that?
That is the death list.
No. We'll keep the list. That line we will.
Now the email list is separate from the class list.
Yes.
Email list is a lot of other things. People are there, and then
So we had to get
email from Amit's niece saying to take her name off. You know.
One idea is to put the picture of us when we were medicos and what we are now, side by side. How we changed.
That is for meditation.
Your life. At least we may be able to identify the faces, if not the names.
I'll communicate with each one of you to get your current photograph, and I have the old photograph here. Jumbo has put it here, old.
Yeah.
And start.
Interesting part is when I look at class photographs
and what you have ended up as.
Yeah. You notice that?
There are 140 names there.
Benita, that thing you are suggesting, put in the photo of the person at that time and now, that is for meditation list.
Yeah, but what I mean is, we are forgetting the names, we are forgetting the faces. Now, sometimes when I see on the Zoom, I am trying to see, can't connect the younger face to the face that has come now. I probably, it's going to be even worse.
You need to get the eyes tested as well.
Maybe in batches. You don't have to put the whole 140 at the same time.
Yeah.
But, people who are in it and whatever they are, batches by batch or different country by country.
Benita,
maybe worthwhile, just can't remember now. I'm forgetting. Most of the time we remember the names. Can't
don't
put the
think
face
you
to
need
the name.
visual acuity testing.
Yeah, but their
Mohan,
brain has
Mini
gone
mental
off.
health.
Yeah,
Mohan, you remember the
mental
time we
health, physical
organized
health,
the meet,
everything.
Huh?
All mental
when
health,
we
brain,
organized
physical
the
health,
get together
So
on
when
the
are we going to have
magazine, we had the
the class
photos like
reunion?
that.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry, you were saying something, Edwin.
Yeah, when we organized the get together or the reunion, the magazine had the photos of both at entry and the present one.
Yes.
Okay.
I can create an electronic page.
So that's the last time we had the
I have a
comparative
web
Okay.
operating system, so I can do that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Who are those who are going to volunteer to be part of this reorganizing committee? Saro, me, Narada?
Yeah, okay.
Ranjit,
Oh, and Ranjit has to be incorporated. You have to come.
John.
Yeah, because
And
the
who
Sri
else?
Lankan.
Glory, you'll come in? No. Okay, and of course Koda, Mohan Kwan. Yeah, we'll make a six or six.
Hello.
Can you make a WhatsApp group that is separate, Maruf?
Yeah.
For the reorganization group.
All right.
Separate WhatsApp group. And we'll make a plan 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what you have to do. And can we write a list of things we have to do and circulate it in that?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. So you put, I think you can more the merrier, but have maybe put all the people in this group in that. Yeah. And then we will start a reorganizing group and get the
This
dates
group
and
that
so
is
on.
in India, we'll put them as a base at the moment. But we can add in more people like Tasim, we can add him.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then we'll get the people in and we'll
I'll country wise, and I'll put a page on the web. I'll have about 2 pages of web done for Slimo, so you can, I will send you the web address in the next week, so we can interact with that. Okay. All these pictures I put there.
So please put your ideas into that, and we'll try and implement it. I think it's essentially getting everyone, getting the date, and finding the time. Maybe have 2 sessions and a program to get Lalita to speak or something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Banda in particular.
Thank you for organizing, Maruf.
Okay. And see you next April.
What's your name?
Okay. Saro, get your son to talk to Maruf.
What's your name? You said
audio visuals.
Yeah.
Audio visuals.
Thanks, Maruf. Thanks, Banda.
Okay.
Thanks for the
Bye.
talk.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Nice speaking to you guys.
Okay, we see you all.
24th of
See
April.
you.
Bye.
The next
Bye.
Bye. They appear and disappear at the same speed. Hi, Koda.
See you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Koda. Thank you.
I
Bye.
have telephone number. Don't worry, I'll call you.
See you.
Only me and my wife are left. My wife has gone to sleep somewhere. Left the computer on.
Same batchmate, sir.
Amma.
Wait for classmate.